highly recommend you look at my channel, and please do consider subscribing.
And we are live. Well, hello there YouTube, it's ONDARIAN ASMR here. I'm just going to put out a message that I am live on Twitter. I decided to bring... I said I wasn't going to live stream till about 10 PM, but I've eaten, I've, freshened up and everything, and I thought, well, why not bring it an hour earlier, give us an extra hour. So, usual housekeeping, keep it civil, keep it clean, keep it friendly, don't be rude, don't be horrible, don't be a bully, basically don't do anything I wouldn't do, and just, keep to that really. I am just going to put out that I am streaming. I'm going to do that on Twitter right now. Let's see. Hey all, decided to grant an extra hour with you this evening. Was going to start at 10 PM, decided to bring it forward to now. Please do come and join me in the chat. How many smiley emojis? Always 3. 3 smiley emojis, 3 laughing emojis, 3 thumbs up emojis. Why? Because 3 is the magic number. 3 is a magic number. Yes, it is. It's a magic number. It's the magic number. It's the magic number. Make sure the link is there. Beautiful. We have a link. So hopefully people will find that and join. Tisa, hello, thank you for joining me. I apologise, I've only just seen your comment, mainly because I was just putting out the message that I'm now live. But yes, thank you. Apart from the fact that I was being jabbed with needles this morning for 2 hours whilst they were trying to find veins for me to have a CT scan of my chest. It hasn't been too bad, thank you. Unfortunately, I've got lots of little sort of like puncture marks in my hands and arms where they desperately tried to find a vein to put iodine through my body to... Hello Mills, thank you for joining me, very much appreciated. Yeah, so all in all, it stung. It absolutely stung. I mean, I've never been stung by a wasp or bee, but it's how I kind of imagine. It's very much how I kind of imagine it feels to be. It was horrible. It was honestly very. By the way, I'd like to apologise to everyone if I'm not looking at the camera, because my the chat screens are on my second screen, which is this side. My laptop is directly behind my camera. That's where I've got my Twitter feed up, so I can keep an eye on that for anyone who. So I can send retweets of or updates of this feed. So yeah, because obviously when I'm looking away from my camera, it's because I'm looking at the comments on my screen this side, which I think might possibly be your left, but my right. And I will say now, I do have a fan on at least, because it is quite warm in here. But I've tried to move it away as best I can. We'll keep it very casual this evening, you know, sort of very light, and you know, it's been a bit of a heavy day for me. You know, I worked till 6 o'clock this evening, so, which wasn't a bad thing, but I've discovered that train travel at certain times of the day has pitfalls, shall we say. It turns out that trains around sort of lunchtime in the day are actually more busy than the trains I normally catch early in the morning. You'd think it'd be the other way round, but on a Friday I like train travel, but there's sometimes moments when I wish I didn't have to travel by train. And today was one of those moments. I will be very honest with you, my friends. Very honest. However, that being said, did have a Cornish pasty for lunch, so that wasn't a bad thing. You know, it's not often I have something really tasty for lunch, but there's a pasty stand up at Charing Cross Station. Yeah, it's going good. It's going good. I mean, obviously, this is the end of the second week, and working, you know, and I do believe my camera has frozen. So please do let me know if my camera's frozen. I'm in a very, it looks like I'm in a very precarious image. So I might try and turn that off. There we go. Let's see what that does. Whether or not that works, I don't know. We'll carry on though. I will carry on talking regardless, because you know, we're still live, and you can still hear me. So yeah, the new job's going okay, thank you. Yes. Yeah, now the picture's gone black. I basically disconnected the picture. I'm not going to end the stream because it's not fair on you. In fact, let me just put up. There we go. It says video gaming content, and I'm not playing a video game, but at least it shows that I'm here and I'm with you. So I do apologise. I think it's the battery on my camera, so I think it does need charging. but we carry on regardless. But it does mean that I can still see your amazing comments and everything, and I don't have to worry about looking at the camera. So technically it's a win-win situation. However, you know, I'm absolutely loving it. I mean, the people are amazing. Some might say the job for them is quite repetitive, but I like it. I like the repetitiveness of it. But it's an unpredictable repetitiveness. You know, there is a routine, but there are moments when that routine can be... Pink, hello! Hello, thank you for joining me. Chapter 15 at the moment. I'm waiting on a few people to send me their contributions. I must contact them. I have some of the contributions. Chapter 16 is already well underway as well. Yeah, I'm so sorry there's no picture, by the way, Pink. I lost connection through my camera. I think the battery's gone, so I'm charging it up at the moment. And we'll try again later, perhaps. But for now, it's audio only, so I hope you don't mind. But yeah, you know, chapter 16 is also in production. There's delays. I'll be honest, there are delays to when their release dates are. Hence why a lot of chapters haven't got deadlines. I kind of want people to work at it on their own pace rather than a deadline at the moment. Amanda, Simplicity ASMR, who's just joined us. Hello, Amanda. I hope you are doing absolutely superbly. Thank you for joining me. Is part of the Academy, and I actually extended the deadline for that to the 30th of September. And I'm possibly going to extend it again, because I may now need extra time to edit and produce and things like that. So, but I know there's a number of people who are interested in participating. And, you know, I know that there's a couple of people who have approached me regarding participation. Or at least interest in participation, and I do need to contact them and sort of talk them through the process. I will say that I have golden rules. You always come. My project does not come first. You always come first as the participant. So whatever happens in your world takes importance over my project. Hence why I am truly happy to extend deadlines, suspend deadlines, push the project back, and I've done that. I have done that many times, and it's always worked out in the end. There's no hurry. There's absolutely no hurry, Amanda. You know, in your own time. You've got till 30th of September as the the dedicated deadline. But I'm super flexible with my project. I'm not one of those sort of content creators who go, you know, sort of go, come on, quickly, need it now. I am not that kind of content creator. If you need time, message me. You know, you have you all have my contact details. Please don't be a stranger. You know, the thing is, I'm your host. I am your host. You are my guest. You know, you are my guests. I will truly treat you as my guests. You know, you all deserve the very best, because you give 100% and beyond the very best content for this story. This story is no longer about me. It's about you. It's about the viewer. I'm just the person who writes it. You know, I created it. Yes, I am the creator, the Dreamweaver, and all that. That the roadside inn is in the desert realm. That's right. It's in the desert. No. Is it the desert realm, or is it the? No, the road to Ondar, the second one, which I'm writing at the moment, is in the monarchy. Yeah, the roadside inn is in the desert realm. Yes, I beg your pardon. I've just worked that out for myself, because the story is moving away from the desert realm towards the forest realm. So that's how it works. Then, so, oh, Pink. Well, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate that. I don't know the song Dreamweaver. I don't know who it's by, so I'm afraid I can't comment on that. But you know, I'm glad you have a song in your head that you enjoy, I guess. Yeah. Do you know, this is rather cosy, really, isn't it? Because although you can't exactly sort of vocally speak back to me, seeing your comments as they come up, and me not being, it feels like a bit of an online podcast, you know, like the podcasts of old, when it was all done. You know, I feel a bit like a radio DJ talking to you, because you can't see me now, and I quite like that. Maybe I should do more podcast style live streams like this. Oh, I am familiar with the music of Gary Weaver. I can't name many of his songs, if any, but I have heard the name. I used to work with someone who was a big fan of Gary Weaver, so I am aware of the name. Thank you very much for that, Amanda. Sorry, my computer is being silly, being very, very silly. Yeah. Yes. My computer is not performing as it should this evening. I know that... How shall I put it? My computer is not functioning as it ought to be. It is such a shame that you are unable to see my face. Tisa, in response to your question, which I shall continue to answer in the voice of Rafik, the rogue. The story that you have mentioned, the road to Ondar, comes after the roadside inn. It is set after... Yes. Let me see. I beg your pardon. The road to Ondar City is chapter 25. The roadside inn? is chapter 27. So really you have chapter 27 first, but I am in the process of writing your character for chapter 25. And I've suddenly gone posh. I've suddenly turned Rafik into a very posh-speaking English gentleman of very fine... Yes. Yes, okay. I really don't know where that came from. Well, I do know it started out as Rafik and then ended up being... Yes. Very silly indeed. It's very, very silly. Yeah, oh, excuse me. I forgot to put the chapter numbers on the scripts. That's on that particular script I've sent you, Tisa. But I'll make sure to get the when I send over the other script, I'll send a rectified version for you as well, so that you have a corrected version for your records. But you know, as I say this every week, I say this absolutely every week, but to anyone who's interested in participating in the story as a character, drop me a message on Twitter, drop me a message on Instagram, you can contact me on TikTok, you can drop me an email through my channel. You know, I am contactable in so many ways. Yeah, I'll get chapter 20. I'll get the character of Ryella written up for you this weekend, and more than likely tomorrow anyway, and send it over to you the same way as I did for Popea. So yeah, I just had to think about that. Yeah, it is Popea. Popea. I get tongue-tied over I've got so many different names in that I have to work with on my character list that in my head they sound fine, but as soon as I try to say them vocally out loud, I vintage. This is the BBC Home Service, broadcasting to you live from Broadcasting House, in London. So sorry, Amanda. You kind of throw me off. You've kind of thrown me off with your comment about my laugh sounding vintage. I have never heard anyone refer to my laugh as vintage. Okay. Oh, you didn't. You have not embarrassed me, Amanda. You have not embarrassed me at all. I just trying to think of how to I'm easily fixed, though. I'm easily fixed. Oh, it's a shame the camera isn't working. I've just seen my... you know, I bet my face is an absolute picture. I've just looked at myself on my phone, and my face is an absolute picture. Look, if anything about me is broke, it's my bank account. No, it's not really. Oh, that's an old joke. Well, that's an old shoe. Well, that's an old joke. What? I haven't had a drink. I am. I'm sober. I am sober. I guess I'm just. It's you people. You. Every single one of you fills me with life. I beg your pardon? Amanda! I hope you've worded that correctly, or whatever. I am so confused right. Encourage You're not the only one, Pig. Oh dear. Oh, it is such a shame that my camera isn't working. Oh, let me just have a. Oh dear. Let me do a tweet. Let me do a picture tweet. Alfred Hitchcock. Alfred Hitchcock. Oh, Amanda. Oh, hang on. I'm tagging you in all into something. Oh. Oh. Who else is in the chat? Who else is in the chat? If you're on Twitter, please respond so I can tweet. I can tag you in this. I absolutely want to tag you in this. So far I've got so far I've got Pink, Tisa and Amanda. So is there anyone else who wants to see this? If you're in the no, speak now or forever hold your peace. I am about to tweet. Check your Twitter feeds now. There's no caption, just your names. Ominous radio laughter. That yeah, I've got my breath back now. I got my breath back now. Got my breath back now. Boo 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 boo. Yeah boo 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 boo. Skilly bop bop billy bop bow. Wow. Okay. What happened there? I started jazz scatting. No, Matthew, don't you dare have another. Behave. Put your hand down, you naughty boy. That's the only line I know. Have you not seen the photo then? Have you not seen the photo then, Amanda? I've just shared it on Twitter. I'm trying hard not to make myself laugh again because that first time was rather exhausting. But yes, so before I interrupted myself with jovial jollities, you know, what's the word? No, that's of course chit-chat and vulgar verbosities, which none of what was involved. Yeah, if anyone would like to participate in my project, you can contact me through various means and methods. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. You can email me, Great Western Fanatic at gmail.com, you know. Cashier number 4, please. I've just got loads of voices tonight. You know, as I said, you know, message me or contact me if you want to participate, and I can talk you through the characters and everything. Oh, you're welcome. You're all welcome. You know, that's what I'm. Tonight is a very. I'm feeling incredibly. I'm going to say this very carefully because if I say it too quickly, people will mishear me. Random, you know. I don't want people to mishear it and think I'm something else, which I'm not. Yeah, so Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. You know, I was never the class clown, but I kind of found my sense of humour when I was in my early 20s. It's just me, really. It's just me being me. And, you know, if you can bring a bit of laughter to someone just by being yourself. Triumph? No. Their victory at this moment of triumph? Some people have said it's a good laugh. You know, my laugh. It was actually used in an ASMR video. I was involved. I actually played the role of Happy in Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs with Jodie Marie and several others. And my laughter was I actually recorded laughter for Jess K Creative ASMR to use in her segment as Doc. And there is actually about a minute or so of laughter, and basically what I will do is I will convert this audio as well, because I like to use my laughter. It's so natural, because you can't actually force yourself to laugh. It's very difficult to performance laugh. Laughter is when it's... Am I ignoring? What do you mean? Did you post something on a response? I'm just responding to your tweets, my friends. Sorry for the momentary... Jesse, hello! I would never ignore you, Amanda. Never. I would never ignore you. I honestly don't quite know what you mean. I'm somewhat befuddled. I am... I'm a bit confused. Julie, hello! You've just missed me lose the plot. You just missed me losing the plot completely. I am zen once more. I am zen once more. I am back to being the barber. Yes, Amanda broke me. There's no picture, by the way, because something's happened. The battery in my camera's gone, and I know you're kidding, Amanda. Oh. What was I saying? Yeah, I am one again with the happy little trees. Yeah, it always seems a popular reaction when I start laughing. I'm sure I've still got some giggles somewhere in there. I'm still feeling a bit of a giggle gurgle this evening, so yeah, this one's been a bit of this stream so far. I mean, we're only 40 minutes into the live stream. The night is still young, and so are we. I've got a funny feeling, Amanda, Julie won't need to rewatch the stream. Yeah. Well, I'm absolutely flattered by that, Amanda. I'm absolutely flattered that you would compare me to one of my all-time favourite actors. You know, um, who else? I did, I mean, I always thought myself more. I don't know, actually. I really sound like Peter Cushing to you. Ah, interesting. Interesting. Maybe I should do a character based around his voice. Maybe I should. I did one based around a. Yeah. Maybe I should sort of. I think I can develop a character based around his voice. It is quite distinctive. It is quite distinctive. It. I'll tell you actually who one of the biggest influences for posh voices for me is. Who is one of the sort of influences for posh voices in ASMR. Creative Calm, Lucy, Creative Calm. Evacuate in a moment of triumph. I think you overestimate their chances. But yeah, I think I could do something around his voice. I tried to emulate a voice from Doctor Who in Chapter 13 for Professor Stream. I tried to do a voice in the style of the late great Roger Delgado, who died in 1974. He played a character called the Master, Stream being an anagram of the word master. The Master being, if you're not familiar with Doctor Who lore, he is another renegade Time Lord, but he's evil. And, he had a very distinct voice. I am the Master, and you will obey me. I am the Master. You will refer to me as the Master. That it didn't exactly come out like that when I recorded the voice. It didn't sound. Sage, hello. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for being here. Yes, we're talking voices, laughter. There's no picture, I'm afraid. Something went wrong with the picture, so it's audio only. So we're going back to sort of podcast style basics, which is nice because I can relax and look at the chat screen as it scrolls by. Excuse me. Which is very nice indeed. But we've had some laughter and all that. Oh, come with me to the rolling sea where the weather's calm and still. And after when we'll have some fun with the adventures of Portland Bill. Dum da 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 dum dum da 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 dum da 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 dum dum da 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 dum. I threw that in free of charge. But I will say I hope every one of you is doing absolutely amazingly this evening. It's an absolute pleasure to have you here. My day, I will repeat, hasn't been the greatest. I had a CT scan on my chest this morning. Took them 40 minutes to find a vein to put the iodine through, so I'm still very sort of itchy and sore where they prodded me with needles for nearly an hour. Oh, it's a pleasure to have you here. Always happy to be your how shall I be your evening's entertainment whilst you carry on with your day. That's what I enjoy about this. The fact that people do enjoy hearing the ramblings of an eccentric English chap. Yes, you probably saw my my photos of me in my steampunk costume the other day. It wasn't fun at all, Judy. Julie. Judy? Who's Judy? Judy. I've completely confused myself now. What? Could someone let me know what I was talking about, please? My brain has just gone I can't even remember what it was I was thinking about that even triggered. Oh dear. You're all very naughty people, making me laugh like that. Oh, you are awful, but I like you. Oh dear. Maybe I should try and channel Vincent Price. How is that? Not the best Vincent Price voice, scaring, I know. I sound more like... what do I sound more like? Count Chocula? I probably sound more like Kermit the Frog. It's the Muppet Show, yeah! Hey, hey, bird, old buddy, old friend, old pal. No, that's Ernie from Sesame Street. Hey, bird, old buddy, old friend, old pal. You have done too many. Oh. Help! What am I doing? What am I saying? Where am I going? It's Friday night. What? It's Friday night. What are you up to? You know, oh. If you can't laugh, what can you do? If you can't laugh, what can you do? That's a question we should all ask ourselves. Tell you what, let's turn this around, because obviously, you know, what are you up to at the moment? What are you all up to at the moment? Because, you know, you doing anything nice at the moment, or, you know, exciting? I know, Sage, you said you're editing at the moment. Kermie! Oh, Kermie, it's beautiful. No, I could never really do her, because... No, I can't do Bert. I can't do Bert. There's some voices I can do, and some I can't. Oh, Amanda. Amanda. No, seriously though, what are you doing this evening, or at this point? I know you're listening to me, obviously. What are you doing whilst, you know? I want to hear how your day's going. You know, this ought to be a two-way thing. It usually ends up being so one-sided. You know, share. This is about. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Oh, nice. Vacationing in NC. Very nice. Yeah, I'm away for a week in October, so there will be 1 week in October where I won't be live streaming. Going down to Dorset for a week. You know, but you know, any sort of exciting stuff going on in your world, in your world, my friends, or up to anything? You having nice weekends? You know, I'm driving the conversation. I've done these for so long. Oh, that's amazing. And that's how many years? How many years? I imagine. I'm sure it is, Julie. I'm sure it is, Julie. Winky, winky. You know, a thing is, I've done so many of these live streams that it's been. I've always felt they've become very one-sided. It's just me talking, and I don't involve you enough. You know, I want to hear what you're up to. I want to know what's going on in your world. What you're doing. I hope, you know, that. Oh, that's brilliant! 38 years. My congratulations to them. Well, that means, they got married in 1983 then, because my parents got married in 1983 and I came along in July 1984. So, yeah. Yes, I'm just thinking. Oh, playing The Sims. Yes, playing The Sims. That's a Friday night. How big's the have you built a big house? I need to do a follow-up of the house that I've built. I did it as a live stream, and I really do need to do a follow-up for it. because seeing is believing. So, you know. And one thing I will remind you all again, my friends, and I always say this on Twitter, and I always say this elsewhere. If you ever need a haven to vent or just talk or anything like that, remember, please remember, my DMs are always open. I grant you that with the new job, it's a bit more difficult to respond. There isn't much of a signal where I'm working to respond to messages, and I shouldn't be responding to messages anyway whilst at work. I do my utmost to Julie, you are talking to a mod master here for The Sims. Let me help you out a little bit, because I have a secret. Well, it's not a secret, but not many people know about it. Although it's got... I actually have an account with this site, and I will share it with you in the chat. The Sims resource is the modding is the mod resource for all 4 versions of The Sims and all their expansion packs. I actually have a gold membership, and it means you can instantly download mods and extra things for your characters. I very often download extra clothing and decor for the house, and it is absolutely amazing as a website. It really is worth its weight in gold. I mean, being digital, it doesn't weigh anything, but if it weighed something, it would be absolutely worth its weight in gold. Believe me. You know, it's all it is so worth having it for the game. You know, I absolutely love it as a resource. It's really easy to use. You know, you can really sort of find what you're looking for. Oh, Pink, I've just seen your tweet regarding my live stream. Thank you so much. That really means a lot to me. What you've said, giggles and snacks, definitely. Although I don't have any snacks with me. I feel like a really, you know... No, I haven't. Ooh, jazz. Nice. Hello, welcome to Jazz Club. Nice. No, I'll have to look them up. Tuba Skinny. Do you know, I'm listening to my voice as I speak. every time I crack up in these live streams, I'll let you into a little secret. I record these live streams. I probably have enough footage that I could probably, or at least download them from my channel, because I save all my live streams, that I could probably actually make a compilation of all the times I crack up. So, you know, Egyptian Ella, eh? Sounds like a character from the Lord of War and Heartache. Well, the Ella bit, yeah, I'd use the name Ella. I try and avoid anything sort of too real world in the project. Don't think we've got anyone by the name of Ella. We've got Alina, Arundella. I might do. I will go through all my live streams and find all the moments I've cracked up. In fact, I have got a video that I rescued from my old channel, which is now closed, where I actually couldn't finish making a video and it just ended up being a whole gag reel. Yeah, I mean, I would like to use the name Ella in the series. I've got so many names I want to use, those so many characters. Certain ideology is that certain names follow certain listen, but drive safely, Amanda. Drive safely, please. You know, I'll try not to crack up because, you know, I don't want to put you off. I'm kind of thinking at the moment. Yeah, you know, I kind of sometimes, I mean, going back to my project, sometimes I work with the idea of a character backwards. You know, I sometimes start with a concept and work my way backwards. Usually I start out with a name and build from there. That's how I normally do it. But as I've said to everyone, you know, you don't have to go with one of my characters. You can create your own for the project. Just tell me and I'll help you create it. You know, I will help you develop it. I'm still an amateur, but I've picked up a few tips and hints on how to develop characters and things. So, you know, if you have something in mind, if you're watching this back and you have something in mind and you think, well, he hasn't actually listed a character that I want to be, but, you know, I want to be that character, let me know, because I will happily help you develop it. Absolutely. You know, don't feel tied. It's happened a couple of times, in fact, in the story, and where someone has actually created original characters, and it's worked. It's absolutely worked. And you can be, you know, as long as it's within a fantasy setting, you can make your character whatever you want it to be. You know, if it's sci-fi, I prefer something a bit more Victorian style sci-fi. You know, like Jules Verne, H.G. Wells, or earlier, like Mary Shelley style sci-fi, or Bram Stoker style horror sort of sci-fi stuff. I wouldn't have astronauts or anything like that, because it has to fit into the concept clearly. That's why I think so much of it has worked, because I've got it spread over 3 realms. The desert realm, which is at the moment very much the primary realm, the Ondarian monarchy, which is the central realm, and the forest realm in the west, and we're working our way towards the forest realm. As I've said before, I've got plans for up to chapter 34 before I have to start developing new characters for chapter 35 onwards. It's a huge task. And the more people I can get involved, absolutely, the more people I can get involved, and I want to get as many people involved. That's the point. This is nothing about me. This is the dream I've always had, and I keep saying this because it's not about me. It's about the story. It's about sharing the story. It's absolutely about the joy I get from seeing a story brought to life. It's the absolute thrill I find of very much sharing that story with people. It isn't about me at all. And yes, I know I speak all the time about growing my channel, but the whole point for me is I created my world, my channel, and everything relating to it to live a dream. I'm living that dream, but that dream for me wants to be bigger. It wants to be global. It wants to know more people and communicate and interact with more people, and that's why I love social media so much. That is why I'm so happy to be involved in social media and everything. And it I should be following him back. I do my utmost to follow everyone back. I have a way of being able to check if I am or not. I will make sure I do follow him back. It does say 100. It has gone up by 1. So hello. Thank you for joining. You must be Amanda's brother. Thank you indeed. Very nice to meet you. So I'm sort of working my way around social media and building. The thing is, I am all about community and things like that. It really, community, being part of something bigger than just and that's what I love. That's the thing I love about social media, the fact that it has allowed me to build a community over multiple platforms. It's brought me it's brought me in contact with so many amazing, and yet I've not met a single one of you. I have never met a single one of you, and the fact of the matter is, at some point I would absolutely adore to meet every single one of you. That is the absolute truth. I would, if I could, for those of you in America, I would jump on a plane if I could, and fly over and give you all great big hugs and things like that, because I'm that sort of person. I am that sort of person. Some people from my past would say I'm the least affectionate person you've ever met, but I am pretty affectionate, really, and Pink, I've just seen your question. I am so sorry. Will I ever turn it into a book? Well, in its current state, it is very complicated to work on as a novel. However, never say never. Never say never. Because the reason I say that is that I can adapt elements from the story. It may not be 100% accurate to the actual, but it's like novels, films and TV series. They never actually match each other exactly on screen or in print or on radio. So I am looking at adapting the story into a book. It could take a while though. Oh, Tisa, you plan to visit Britain next year, do you? Well, I hope if you find yourself in London that you drop me a message, because you don't need my permission to follow. That's the thing. You don't need my permission for anything. You're absolutely free to follow me. I thank and welcome everybody who becomes part of. I welcome everyone who joins my world and my little segment of life, as it were. That's the thing. I am, how shall I put it? I can't think of how best to put it. Oh, thank you, Pink. I really appreciate that. Well, yes, and Tisa, yes, definitely. If you when you find yourself in London, drop me a message, and it would be an absolute joy to meet you in person. I say that about everyone. I say that about everyone in this community that I've. Oh, absolutely, and I know my way around London pretty well. So, make it a Saturday, and I would definitely jump on a train early in the morning and show you some of my favourite places in London. and you know, and that goes for anyone really. I don't live in London, but I know enough of certain areas that I can get you around safely, and comfortably. Your safety would be my number one priority. Oh, and at some point in the future, I would absolutely love, and this is for any UK ASM artist who is watching this back or is in the chat but hasn't had the opportunity to, or taken the opportunity to comment or anything. I would love to organise a UK meetup at some point. So if there's any British ASM artists out there who would absolutely love to meet up, say in London at some point in the future, you can always drop me a message and we can always sort out a day, because I would absolutely adore to meet my fellow ASM artists from over here. It would be an absolute joy to meet up with you in person and sort of get to know you out, away from the camera, and see, that's the thing. It's difficult, isn't it? Because London is the biggest city that's closest to me, but England is... Julie, the day you come to London will be the day that the sun shines its... No, I can't say that, because that would be singling you out as a friend, and everyone is my... But, the day that every one of you finally... and vice versa, myself and everything, that we finally all get to meet, will be the most amazing day in the history of the earth. Because I absolutely think it would be the most epic event on the planet. The world will not know what hit it when so many amazing people ended up in the same place at the same time. Welcome to Britain. That's all I will say. But yeah, I probably come from what is considered the wettest part of Great Britain, which is the southeast. We get quite a lot of rain because of the English Channel and the Atlantic, so we probably get the majority of the rain in England. But that's the thing, once this pandemic is finally sort of out of the news and all that, I really want to travel more. I want to visit America. I want to visit Europe. I want to visit Japan, the Great Wall of China, the pyramids, historical places of the world, interesting countries, Egypt, see the Star Wars sets in Tunisia. I've heard that visiting Marrakesh is quite an experience. All these places around the world, Las Vegas,
Los Angeles. You know, I want to travel. I want to be able to save up and see the world. Oh, YouTube aren't doing that trick again, are they? Oh, please, 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 please. Please don't tell me YouTube are doing that trick again. That really irritates me when they unsub people without telling anybody. Because that's happened to me too, and you really do sort of... Yeah. Because I was thinking, you know... Because I was sort of thinking... No, what was I thinking? My mind has dried up again. Don't you just please do talk amongst yourselves, because my brain has suddenly gone blank. Help. Oh, you're California. Oh, California Republic. NCR, New California Republic. Fallout. Oh, very nice. This is painful because I'm trying to think of what I want to say, and I've never been to Birmingham. Well, I have, but I've never actually stopped at Birmingham, so I don't really know. I've been to the NEC for the Worley Model Railway exhibition, but I hope to get to Birmingham Comic Con in the future as well. Because once I can really get back into cosplay, I want to get back into cosplay and Comic Con and things like that. You know, costume building. I've got some costumes that I want to finish that I started and never finished. There's like a knight's helmet I'm working on that I never finished. So hopefully I'll get that one done soon. Yeah, there's. I mean, that's what I love about this this community. We're all over the world, and yeah, I would love to visit everybody. You know, I need to do some serious saving, but there needs to be. I mean, I know we have TingleCon, but there really needs to be a proper TingleCon sort of thing. You know, there ought to be, where we can all get together and meet in person. You know, proper venue. I mean, they could do TingleCon London, they could do TingleCon San Diego, they could do TingleCon New York, TingleCon Paris, you know. Oh, where are you based at the moment then? Where are you based at the moment? Pink, because I didn't think Birmingham was that bad. I mean, as I say, I've only ever been there for the NEC, but I'm sure. Well, I don't. As I say, I don't know where you're based at the moment for home and all that, but I'm sure Birmingham isn't that bad a place. You know. Dare I say it? Heck, you know, if You know, dare I say it, it's quite easy to get to Birmingham, isn't it? You go up to London Euston, and then you get the train from London Euston. I can do I've done Birmingham in about under 2 hours. You know. Sorry, I'm thinking on my feet here, even though I'm sat down. Because I'm just trying to think how you get to, you know. Isn't it awful when your brain suddenly switches off? You have all the giggles and and all the nice thoughts at the beginning, and then when it gets to a certain point, it just I'm so glad though that you're all able to sort of talk with each other in the chat, because it really helps me out whilst I have all these blank moments and sort of. You're in Southampton. Oh, I'm going to be near there I'm going to be on the Isle of Wight on September the 3rd. But yeah, I'm staying down in Portsmouth at the weekend of September the 3rd with friends, you know, and you know, if I guess if you're around, we'll be back sort of for the evening. I'm just saying, and it'd be lovely to meet you in person, Pink. You know, if you wanted. I don't know. I don't know how you feel. But yeah, I'm in Pompey on September the 3rd, Portsmouth. I don't know why I feel really awkward now. In all honesty, but yeah, but yeah, you know, I'm still here. I am still here. My mind is. My mind is frozen. Please help. It would be absolutely amazing, you know, if we were able, you know, because there are many ASM artists I would absolutely love to meet in person, and to actually meet another ASM artist in person would be an absolute thrill, because at least then it would be someone else who knows what I'm talking about, who understands my passion for content creation and things like that, you know. But it would be an absolute joy to meet another content creator. But yeah, you know, you can drop me a message. You can drop me a message. Yeah, I'm fine, Amanda. My it's been a long week. It has been a very long week. A dress-up thing. address. I apologise, Pink. You've lost me there. Hello, Marigold. Thank you for joining me. Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you, Amanda. I'm just overwhelmed with all the love that's come my way this evening. In all genuineness, I'm just feeling very overwhelmed this evening. It's been a very long day. You know, when you've been prodded and poked with needles in the name of medicine, it really does sort of. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out what the dress up thing is. Idea is, but yeah, well, that's something we could always. Oh, and cosplay, right? Yeah, I guess. I don't know if my two friends would, but I wouldn't have an issue with it. I wouldn't have an issue with it at all. I don't know what I'd go as. I mean, what would you go as then? What would you consider as an idea? I'm just trying to think on my feet again. I suppose I could always wear. Thing is, I'd be travelling up from work straight after work, so that would, because I'd go up on the Friday, come back on the Sunday. I'd have the Saturday. I'd spend a few hours on the Isle of Wight with my friends. I mean, obviously, if it. There's a town called Ducktown. Okay, I've heard worse town. I've heard some terrible town names, and that's actually quite. Are you trying to make me giggle again? Simplicity. I mean, I'm. Oh dear, am I going to lose the plot again? Oh dear. Oh dear. I think Pink, if we are considering a possible meet-up, we should discuss that sort of a bit more in depth, rather than, because I think something like that would need to take organising. Yeah. I see what you mean. Yeah. I'm kind of just. What's the word? I'm speechless this evening. It's all just sort of. It's all just sort of. This has been one of the best live streams I've ever had, I think, and it doesn't matter about the number of people that have been in. You know, it's nothing to do with numbers. It's to do. You didn't make it awkward at all, Pink. I was just trying to figure out what you were talking about. I wouldn't have a problem with anything, you know, You know, whatever came to mind, I would go with, because I'm that sort of person. I'm that sort of person. You know, I'm an anything goes kind of chap. You know, I go with the flow. I like spontaneity. I like fun. I like being different. I like individuality and, you know, identity. You know, being who you are. You know, that sort of thing. It really is just about being you, you know, and don't ever let anyone dictate who you need to be or who you want to be. Just, you know, if you want to, if you know, I will say, if you want to dress up to the nines and look good and feel good, absolutely fantastic. You know, if you want to just put a tracksuit on and let your hair down, sort of thing, absolutely fine as well, because that is just you. That is, and I'm not just talking to one person in this chat, I'm talking to everybody. It makes no difference about appearance or you know, it's what's inside that counts. It's how you think, it's how you act, it's all about what's in the heart at the end of the day. It's not what's on the surface. It's what is in the heart, what is in the soul, what is in the spirit. That's what it's all about. It you know, you might have everything on the planet in your own ship, or you might have nothing. I wouldn't, you know, I am one of those people that wouldn't care, because you know, what is on the surface, what is, and this is where we start getting deep in this stream. As you know, most of my live streams usually end up with me becoming really deep and really philosophical, maybe a little bit spiritual, sort of thing, you know. It's, at the end of the day, it's all about who you are as a person. It's not what you look like. It's nothing to do with anything like that. It's all about what is beneath. You know, it's how you act with others. It's how you show your emotions and your feelings, and the energy you give off to people. You know, the energy you provide to others. It's the humanity we project. It's you know, it's all about being human at the end of the day. It doesn't matter who you are, where you come from, what your chosen path in life is, you know, how you show love and affection, how you choose to identify even, or how you feel you identify. It matters not to a degree, because it's how you show your true self that, you know, matters most. It's how you interact with others. It's how you share your feelings with others. That's the real essence, in my mind, of being human, being a part of this world. In reality, is so small. We all live on its surface, and so many people these days are, well, they're just squandering what they have. They squander everything. They really do take for granted what we have, and most of all, they take for granted humanity. They feel they are so privileged and, you know, privileged and powerful that they can do what they want. They can act how they want. They can treat people how they think they have the right to treat people, and that is wrong on so many levels. The point of the matter is, we have one planet. We are one species. We are all human. We are all members of the human race. We are... Strike that, reverse it, because I don't like using the R word. I apologise. I do not like using the R word. We are all part of humanity. We are all part of humanity. I retract that previous comment. That was wrong of me to use that word. I apologise. And, you know, it really... there's so much I see on the news and on social media that makes me sit up and think, where have we gone wrong? What is it that has made us this way? Why is humanity driven? Why are there so many people in this world driven by greed and, you know, division of how we, through how we look and how we act? We all have one world, and we're just destroying it. We're just obliterating the one place where we're genuinely safe. We don't know what's beyond the stars. We don't know what worlds are awaiting for us. There might be an incredibly terrible nightmare out there waiting to strike against us, and we won't be prepared because we are so divided. There's just the amount of hatred and bigotry and things like that I see in this world destroy me inside. It absolutely destroys me inside. I've faced bigotry. I've faced hatred. I grant you, I faced them in my own way. I fought my own battles in my own way. I can't speak for people who are fighting their battles, who are fighting bigotry and hatred and things like that in the way that, you know, they're facing it. You know, I don't want to go down the routes of the common factors that these things occur, we don't need to talk about. Well, we do need to talk about them, but this is not the time and the place. This is not the time and the place, because at the end of the day, as I've said before, it doesn't matter who you are, where you come from, what language you speak, what you look like. It's what's beneath the surface that's the most important thing. And so many people forget that. They just see individual people and they just suddenly... They're so quick. We are so quick as a species to judge. There are no other species on the planet that judge. There are the great apes, the gorillas, the orangutans, the chimpanzees. They don't judge. They are highly intelligent beings. The chimpanzee is our closest living ape relative. I think there's only something like a 3% difference in our DNA. They are the closest living relative to humans. And yet they've been able to build a society of their own that doesn't rely on half the things that we've come to rely on. We have just been driven into a world of want, and it leaves me so cold. It genuinely leaves me so cold, because what is humanity? What right do we have to call ourselves the dominant species? Because I sometimes get to the point where I don't want to live on this planet anymore. You know, there's so much division. You know, can we ever unite this world? Now, I'm sorry, I sincerely apologise that this has got so deep. It started out as a really light-hearted live stream, and we've now got to the point where, you know, philosophy and, you know, burning deep subject, but that's how I work, that's how I think, because if I don't say these things, they just eat me inside, they consume me, they break me. And as someone who has faced bigotry, hatred, suffering, pain, torment, post-traumatic stress, you know, things like that, from years from mental abuse at secondary school and in the workplace of the distant past, you know, in recent years, it's been a lot. You know, I've had a lot more luck in my life in the last decade or so. Maybe not even decade, the last 4-5 years perhaps. Oh, thank you, Pink. I really honestly appreciate that. I just... kind of wish that people would see... I just wish people would take a deep, long look at themselves and realise that what they're standing for, what their ideologies are futile. It doesn't do anything for anybody. It just drives a wedge into society. It division. We don't need division. We need unity. We need equality. And until we have equality, we have no unity. Equality is much more important than equality. Equality and equality are two very similar things, but equality is far more important. If you're unfamiliar with the definition, for those of you who are unaware, it's equality, social and political equality. Equality represents an extreme levelling of society. You know, and that is something, that is a word I have latched onto in the last year or so. Being so, being so active on Twitter and making so many amazing new friends in all the communities I've become part of, my eyes and my soul, I shall say, have been opened to so many things I have never considered or thought about in the ways that I think about them now. And yes, some of the things I've seen and read and talked about with others have made me very angry indeed. But anger solves nothing. Anger solves nothing at all. Anger is like a weapon. Anger is like a sword or an axe. It just gets sharpened. And we need to do what we can to make sure that edge is as blunt as possible, so that anger does not cut. We need to dull that blade, dull that axe, Maybe I ought to think about changing the subject. This is getting far, far, far too deep for me, and I think it might be best to. I apologise. It probably. I get sort of emotional and latched on to an idea or a concept, and I want to share it with everybody. I want people to know there is someone out there who listens. I can't do anything. I have no power or anything like that, but I listen. I take on board everything that's said to me. I observe, I pay attention. And there are so many people in this world who absolutely lack, they see, but they don't observe. They don't stop to take in what's going on around them. They just keep moving. They just keep going, and they don't stop to they don't pay attention to the bigger picture around them. The saying goes that ignorance is bliss. Yeah, I realise now that that bliss comes with a price. And it, in my opinion, is not a price worth paying. In all honesty, it isn't. I think it's time we change the subject. Do you agree? I'm sure you do. You're probably... I imagine you're sitting there going, please move on, find another subject to talk. And I apologise. I sincerely apologise, because, I don't really know where that came from, but it just felt the need to be said. I had to get it off my chest. I had to say what I was feeling. Sometimes you have to, because if you don't, it will consume you. And I've been consumed by my emotions and my thoughts and my feelings in the past, and it just, it just becomes something else. It really does. Oh, thank you, Julie. Thank you. I'm not trying to be a saviour of the world or anything like that. I'm just an ordinary human being who is very observant of the world around them. That's the truth of the matter. I'm incredibly observant of the world around me. I'm not... It's my absolute pleasure, Pink. And as I say, I'm not doing it to... But there are so many people in this world that need to stop, put down whatever they're doing, and think about, they're so drawn into their own little... There are people in this world who are so self-absorbed, so driven by their own selfishness, and it's unbelievable. It really is, to know, because you think to yourself, how do you even sleep at night? How, in all honesty, and shockingly, the answer is they sleep fine. They sleep like a metaphorical baby, and that just causes so much anguish in me, because it just goes to show there are people in this world who genuinely don't care about anything but I can't live like that. Before anyone panics, don't worry. It's not going down that route. I'm just saying that I could never live like that. I don't ever want to live like that. How can you live your life selfishly? How can you do it? it just beggars belief to me. Yes, I have my my possessions, my microphone, my video camera for my channel, and I have everything that I need for my social media. But it's all stuff I've earned myself. It's not stuff I've earned off the back of others. No. Again, I was about to say something that I totally disagree with, and I want to stop that sentence before it even evolves into something. So I just don't know, really. I just don't know how people can do it. But as I said, isn't it amazing how 1 minute I can be all jovial jollities and everything, and then all of a sudden I can just click and welcome to my life, welcome to my world, this is me. I once got accused of putting on an act, and I've told this story hundreds of times. People have heard this on my live streams in the past. Someone once accused me of putting on an act. The person that you're listening to now, so what? I did amateur acting as a hello Gear, is that how you pronounce your name? Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining this live stream. I hope you're doing absolutely amazing. May I ask, out of interest, is it a is your name Scandinavian at all? I'm assuming. Well, I would imagine it is Scandinavian. But you are most welcome. Thank you for joining this live stream. I like to keep these live streams going for as long as possible. So I think we can sort of move the conversation along a little bit more. Oh, Norwegian, wonderful, lovely to have you here. Thank you for joining us. Absolutely pleasure. Must be what? About midnight, 1 a.m. where you are. I know Norway's ahead. Night. Sorry, I'm just saying night to my dad. Norway's ahead of the UK, isn't it? It's about 11 p.m. here in the UK. So it's quite late. But you're most welcome. So yeah, I'm actually going to take this. Oh wow, I'm only an hour ahead then. That's pretty good then. Huh. Norway must be at the same longitude then, or is it latitude? I think it's longitude, so it must be at the same longitude as Paris then. Yeah, I thought I might just take it back to sort of, yeah, it's been a long day here as well. I was saying at the beginning of this live stream, I had medical tests earlier today, and they spent 40 minutes trying to find a vein so that they could put iodine through my blood vessels so that they could get a CT scan of my chest and lungs, because they wanted to check the health. They want to check the health of my lung, and I've got lots of little marks all over my arms where they literally jabbed me with. I may as well have been stung by a whole swarm of wasps. It was horrible, absolutely horrible. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemies, to be honest with you. Being poked and jabbed to try and find a vein is not nice. Not nice experience at all. I was at the hospital for 2 hours. So, it really kind of took its toll in the end. I was quite tired when I got to work. But oh, Vampire in the Mirror, thank you so much for joining. Thank you for joining. Good morning. So, interesting. Where are you? Where are you? Greetings from then, Vampire. It's about 11. It's about 10 past 11 at night here in the UK. I trust you're well, though. I hope you're doing well. Gear as well. I hope you're both doing very well indeed. Always a pleasure to have newcomers and regulars join the chat. Yeah, I will warn you now. These live streams do get very deep at certain points, and we've already had incredibly deep conversation. And in all fairness, sometimes I completely lose track of what I'm saying, and there's very long pauses because I'm trying to think of what I want to say. So, it swings and roundabouts with these. They get put up in full with no editing, because I just like people to hear it in its full glory. But I know what I want. Yeah, I was saying just before you joined, I was at the hospital this morning for a CT scan of my chest and lungs. They think I may have sleep apnea, which takes time to be diagnosed. So I'm undergoing sort of tests to try and figure out what's going. Oh, you're in Tokyo. Oh, that's on my list. That's on my list of places I want to visit. Oh, Tokyo, absolutely. Oh, yes. Oh, fantastic. It's truly a pleasure to have you in the chat. Thank you for being here. Oh, Tokyo, home of a jumpsuit. Wait. A jumpsuit? I'm trying to think. Have we suddenly started talking about Tokyo is mentioned in the chat and we're suddenly talking about Super Sentai? Super Sentai and Kamen Rider. Oh, I have to tell you now. I want to start a campaign to get one particular series of Super Sentai adapted into Power Rangers, Resha Sentai Tokuja. I think it's time now that the railways started getting their own superheroes, and Resha Sentai Tokuja adapted into Power Rangers, I think would make railways popular again with kids in the UK, you know, older kids, because obviously young kids have Thomas the Tank Engine, but it needs something else to draw the slightly older generation to railway modelling and things like that. And if you're familiar with my Twitter feeds from the very beginning, Julie, it's always a pleasure to have you here on the chat. You're always welcome. You're a good friend, and you know, do carry on. Oh, thank you, Vampire. I truly appreciate that. Thank you so much. I'm sorry to hear that you've had some broken bones, Gear. I do hope you're making a very good recovery as well. You know, please do, you know, and please don't be a stranger. You know, not everyone who joins. But for those of you who are new to my channel and discovering this feed, I'm not just a live streamer. I normally have video, but something went wrong with my camera, so it's audio only. There are other live feeds that show I do camera live streams. This one is being treated more like a vlog. But yes, Julie, enjoy your meal, and I will be around. So I'm always, because I don't know how long I'm not sure how long I'll carry on with this, but we'll see how long it goes. But yes, welcome to any newcomers. If you're watching this back on the replay, Ondarian ASMR, creator of Lord of War and Heartache. Please don't worry where it says video gaming content, because I do video gaming live streaming and recording as well. As I say, something went wrong with my video camera. Well, not my video camera per se, but the software. So I'm treating it like a podcast where it's audio, and I'm interacting with the yeah, I feel for you. I wasn't actually on a bike or anything, but back in 2009 I was involved in a road accident where I fractured my shoulder, and I don't have much recollection of it to this day. But my shoulder, if the weather starts to change or get colder, my right shoulder absolutely feels like it's being crushed. It feels like someone's putting their hand on my shoulder and crushing it, and it can get really painful. And I broken bones and fractures and things like that can really give you I do feel for you. I honestly do, because I know that feeling of being involved in an incident, road traffic incident, and ending up in hospital because of it. So I honestly and truly wish you a speedy recovery. Do take care and look after yourself and everything, because we only have the one set of bones and things in life. Oh yes, and do take care, Julie. I'll see you around the social media platforms, of course. Um, but yeah, quick bit about my channel, if you're unaware. Creator of Lord of War and Heartache, which is a fantasy series. A lot of people who are in the chat, there's a lot of people involved because it's a collaborative effort story. Always on the lookout for new ASM artists to join me as characters. I accept both audio and video contributions, so if people don't like appearing on camera, they can still participate by adding their voice. So I'm always able to adapt and help them out, so that they can still be part of the project. 14 chapters up at the moment. I'm still working on a few bits and pieces of other chapters, and there's a load of side story chapters as well, to support the story and move the story along. I'm not a conventional ASL artist. I don't do conventional content like a lot of them do. Yeah, I absolutely understand what you're saying. I absolutely, honestly understand what you mean. It, yeah, it really does. I mean, let's see, I'm 37 now. I was about 26, 27 when I had my accident, and it really put a lot into perspective for me. It yeah, I am absolutely with you on that. It really, yeah. But the truth must be, though, regardless of how many, granted it wasn't the first time, but each time it must really make you think even more. That must be that must be the catalyst for thought. And I fully understand. I mean, I've been through various different types of traumatic event in my life. Not necessarily injuries, but I've spoken about some of the trauma that I've been through in my life in my Twitter feed, and I've shared my stories, my experiences many times with many people. And oh, Jesse, thank you so much for joining me. Always a pleasure to have you on board, my good sir, with your presence and input in the chat. You're absolutely welcome anytime. And if you need a haven, you can contact me via my DMs on all my social media platforms: Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. If you're on there, you can message me that way. I don't use Twitch, but you know that. You and I know, have shared our views on Twitch as a platform. Where was I? Oh yes, but yeah, I honestly think, regardless of the number of times an incident has occurred in anybody's life, it always puts life itself into perspective. You will always have more questions. Yes, exactly. Yes, exactly. it's amazing what little things can motivate you. It really is, because you sort of suddenly realise, kind of suddenly realise that you spend most of your life worrying about the things you can't control, whereas, yeah, I absolutely agree with you, Gear. It's so strange in this world what can actually motivate us to create new experiences for ourselves. And I think that is something that really does, that is something that really does sort of not push us to our limits, but it challenges us to try new things. It makes us want to rise above the things that have been put before us to challenge us. It's everything we can ever sort of think about and consider. And there's a lot of things that yeah, exactly. I yeah, it makes you so much more appreciative of what you have in life. It really does sort of open your eyes and make you take notice of what you have, over what you haven't got. Because what you haven't got, you don't need to worry about. It's all about what you have and making the most of what is in your world. What in friendships, relationships, employment, things like things that so many people perhaps take for granted or do take for granted. And some people who think it's their given right to have what they have, when in reality we are all fortuitous to have what we have, and be in the position in life that we are in. Yes, there are moments of negativity, but they are there to spur us on to experience, for example, where you, and I quote, say, like, now I'm happy to just wake up in the morning and actually go to work. That is exactly it. That is, so many people take that for granted, that they just wake up in the morning, get dressed, leave the house, go to the office. And that's the thing about it. That's the honest truth about it, in the fact that they somehow don't have the appreciation for what goes on around them. They don't observe what is going on around them. And I think that's sad in a way, because they I said it earlier, they don't see the bigger picture. And the secret to anything in my world, I mean, the way I think and everything, is you need to see the bigger picture. You need to see the fact that life plays such a huge role in our world itself, that yeah. Well, I think I'm going to be honest with you, and I think I'm going to call it a night. It's 11:30 UK time, GMT, and oh, definitely tunnel vision. Definitely tunnel vision. Anyhow, I think I am going to call it a night because it is 11:30 at night, and I think it might be best if I head off to bed because I'm feeling really tired today. But before I go, I would like to thank everybody who has been with me this evening. It's been an absolute thrill. I apologise as always for the slip-ups, the sort of errors, the pauses, the in-depth philosophy that I seem to always end up going through. You know, I'm absolutely thrilled to have you all with me. You're all very, very good friends to me. You know, and I care for you deeply. I just to confirm, I do my utmost to go live once a week on a Friday. I was a bit later this evening, but I normally try about 8 p.m. So I was sort of like an hour behind. So about 8 p.m. to 10:30. But anyway, you know, I do try and live stream on a weekly basis unless stated otherwise. So I would like to thank every single person who has participated in this live stream, and I would like to thank you as always for being here. As I say, I greatly appreciate every single one of you. You are good friends to me, or are becoming good friends to me as I get to know you. You know, most welcome to all first visitors to my channel. Please do look around. Please do, you know, come for the live streams, stay for the storytelling, as it were. No, in all honesty, please do feel free to look around. There's no obligation to subscribe, but if you would like to subscribe, I absolutely thank you for that, and I wish you a very, very pleasant weekend. You can find me on Twitter at ONDARIAN ASMR. You can find me on Instagram, which is also at ONDARIAN ASMR. And you can also now find me on TikTok as ONDARIAN ASMR as well. So I'm very easy to find, and they all have the same profile picture. So again, incredibly easy to find. So without further ado, I shall wish you all a very, very pleasant night, day or evening, wherever you are in the world. Thank you so much for joining me. It's been an absolute joy. You bring me so much happiness and friendship, and I am absolutely grateful for every single one of you. You know, you are all truly amazing people, and I love you all. Yeah, I am trying different endings now, because you know, I've been doing this for long enough now that I think I can play around with my endings. Anyway, let's call it a day. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will meet up with you again next Friday. As I say, if you need me, I am available on social media, and I do respond, even though there may be a delay in response. I endeavour to respond to every comment and message. So, good night, and all the very best. Speak with you again very soon. Bye for now.